Ethan the Little Lion. Written and illustrated by Chung-Ying-Hoi Brendan. Once upon a time, there was a little lion called Ethan. He was an orphan. His parents were killed by the hunters after he was born, so he had no family. He lived alone in a cave on the top of a mountain. Ethan was unhappy because of his innate afro hair. All lions had smooth, long brown hair, except him. His hair was curly and black. It was really hard too. He tried to make it smooth and straight, but he failed. Everyone laughed at him and called him Bommy. Ethan's classmates never played with him. His hair was too hard and it always hit into them. His hair was also too big and no one would sit next to him. His hair was black and looked messy and no one walked close to him. Ethan's classmates were mean to Ethan too. They always played tricks on him, and sometimes they would throw rubbish into his hair. They also sometimes flew paper planes into his hair. Ethan felt extremely sad and upset. One day, all the students went on a picnic to a river with their teacher, Mrs. Murphy. The weather was sunny and everyone played together, except Ethan, who was sitting alone under a big oak tree. Mrs. Murphy started talking to Ethan. Suddenly, Zoe the lion dropped into the raging river. She was flushed away. All the lions could not swim and were afraid. They shouted, "Help! Zoe is in danger!" Mrs. Murphy was shocked and really didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Ethan ran to the river and jumped in. Ethan could not swim, but he tried to sway his legs quickly to chase Zoe. Ethan swam next to Zoe and said, "Zoe, hold my head tightly. Hold my hand now." Zoe held Ethan's head tightly. Luckily, there was a huge stone in front of them. Ethan held the stone tightly and asked Zoe to climb on the stone. Zoe was scared and kept crying loudly. Ethan shouted, "Help! We are here!" They waited to be rescued. Soon, Mrs. Murphy and the students came to Ethan and Zoe. Mrs. Murphy found a long rope. She tightened half of the rope on the tree and threw the other half to them. Ethan and Zoe were saved. Everyone felt relieved. Zoe thanked Ethan for saving her and apologized for being rude. The other lions said sorry to Ethan too. They all understood that they should not reject being friends with Ethan because of his hair. Finally, all of them became good friends who helped and cared for one another.